we attended class in October, and by January, we got that phone call. They're like, we have 3 little angels that needs home. And I looked at Anthony, and I'm like, well, no, I didn't look at him, but I called him. I'm like, hey, you know how you wanted a girl, and then you wanted a boy, and then you wanted a girl? I'm like, that's what they're calling us for, you know? And so they called us, and they're like, we have a girl, a boy, a girl sibling that needs a home. They have special needs. They have medical needs. And we decided that we were going to say yes to that and to. So we said yes, and then they called us and they're like, "No, never mind."
What?
I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "No, they're already in my heart," and so we had to fight to get them. And then a month later, they entered our home.
Wow. And you hadn't met them yet?
No, we didn't know anything about them besides their name and their ages and the needs that they would need.
Wow.
And so, so at the time, the oldest was 3.5. Our son was just turned 2, and the baby was 7 months old.
Let's rewind just a little bit, Anthony. Let me ask you a question, because you said that you hadn't fully converted yet when you considered, adopting or fostering. At any point, did any thought come into your head about, okay, well, maybe this marriage isn't for me, because you're not as strong in your faith?
I think when we were trying to have children, and I don't think that I had that thought, because in my heart, in my mind, marriage was very important. So having that doubt wasn't there. I was committed to being married, and that's because I though I didn't have that religious foundation. Both my grandmother and my mother struggled in their marriage, in their life, and so I didn't want that. And so, being married, I was committed, and we struggled with having children. Tina did she went to the doctor. I went to the doctor, and ultimately, what happened was we took a walk around the block, and we decided that, you know what, we've talked about having children. We want children. We did talk about having 3 or more, or however many we were going to be blessed with, and we kind of remember that, hey, we can always adopt. I mean, because we don't want to do the other things that they have, because we weren't sure if those were acceptable or not.
Yes.
And then the danger that they could have. And so we decided that we were going to foster, and then we were going to learn, we wanted a baby. And so we did the fostering training and the adoption training. We worked through one of the locals, because to adopt a baby costs a lot of money. And at the time we were not wealthy enough to go. And so, but we did do the training, and we did get the phone call. And I remember I was at the office, and she did call me, and we had planned for just one. I think we had one room set up at the house with furniture for a girl. We had gone.
So the one room was already in.
Yes, so because we had bought the white furniture with the purple and pink kind of flip thing, and we had it all set up. This was like for Christmas or January or something. And she called me, and I was in my office at the job, and she said, "I have some news." And they're calling us, because I was thinking that they were calling us, and she said there were three, and I'm like, 3. and I think I reminded her, we just wanted one, right? We just wanted one. But she did say there were 3, and I could hear her across the phone line. I could hear that desire, and then for a moment there, I prayed, I was like, okay, I guess we're walking through this door.